So that was good, and we're happy that you're here. Take your bulletin here and look at our announcements for today. Ladies, you're invited to a baby shower for Sarah Smith on Sunday, April the 15th at the Fireside Room. We're going to have a spring revival here, April 23rd to 26th. You see the picture there. Happy to have Dave and Carol Ross home from Indonesia for a while during their furlough. Mother's Day luncheon coming up, and I believe another men's breakfast is coming up on May 6th, men's prayer breakfast. You see there on May events of things that are coming up. So these and other things are coming up. I was talking to Ursula Murphy just a few minutes ago as we was looking at the crosses, and he asked about the ones, the white, the purple, and the black. Did they have significance? And I said, I didn't know. I said, maybe Catholicism has a meaning for it. But as I stood there and looked at it a while, I thought, well, maybe there is something to it. Maybe the white robe over here would be the thief that was saved while on the cross and said, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Of course, the other thief, he was not saved. And the purple on the cross where Jesus was crucified, maybe that is representing King of the Jews, because that's why he was crucified, according to Pilate and others, that he was saying that he was King of the Jews. So maybe those are the colors that are represented there in that. There's a lot of historical things about Easter and so forth, some good and some not so good. One of the things that I have read, it's not in the Bible, but it probably was true, during the period of time right after the resurrection, maybe during those 40 days that he appeared before he went back to heaven, when the believers would meet each other on the road, and as they walked and the other one would come to them, they would have a phrase that they would say to each other. And the phrase is this: he is risen. And the other one that would become meeting them would say, he is risen indeed. So that certainly would go along with the resurrection. And as we think about when Jesus said, because I live, ye shall live also. You know, sometimes people come to a teacher or to a preacher and they'll say, do you really believe so-and-so? You know, something in the Bible that they don't understand, or they say, do you really believe that? They might come up and say this: do you really believe in a literal bodily resurrection? And my answer is absolutely. And you say, why absolutely? Well, before the preacher comes here in a few minutes, turn to Acts chapter 1, verse 3. Acts chapter 1, verse 3. This phrase is only used here, no place else in the Bible. But it is used to show of a certainty of the truth, that absolutely true. It has been established. It is the foundation of the faith. So Acts chapter 1, verse 3 says, to whom Jesus showed himself alive after his passion by what? Many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days. You know, we use the word infallible and inerrant concerning the Bible, and it is. But the only place that the word infallible is in the Bible is here. And it is tied to the word proof, infallible proofs. In the Greek, it's one word, and it's translated infallible proof. It means of a certainty. You know, in places Jesus said what? Truly, truly, I say unto you, of a truth, of a truth. Jesus is the truth. God is truth. The Scriptures are truth. But he showed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs. It was established. It was established by the miracles that was around the resurrection, by the proof of Jesus' appearance to the disciples at least 10 times, and all the things that come about with the resurrection of Christ. You know, the women came to the tomb to anoint the body of Christ with spices. And as they walked to the tomb, they started thinking, how are we going to get in the tomb? How are we going to move that stone that's closing up the tomb? How's that going to be? And when they came to the tomb, the stone was removed. Why was it removed? I can tell you it wasn't removed to let Christ out. Christ was already out. It was removed to let the woman in to see that the tomb was empty. That's why it was removed. So when we're thinking about infallible proofs, absolutely, we know that these things, these proofs, again and again, and they were seen of them, they seen Christ in these different infallible proofs for 40 days. How was this stone removed? By an earthquake. By an earthquake. Because the Romans had that stone over that tomb sealed. How did they have them sealed? I don't know. Maybe some kind of something that they put around it to see whether it was removed or whatever. But they were guarding the tomb to see that nobody came to the tomb and stole the body. But guess what happened? God caused an earthquake, removed the tomb, and what happened to the soldiers? They're laying over on the side as dead men. They don't even know what happened. They're responsible to see that nobody